Now let's turn our attention to how organizations decide who to bring into those work settings in the first place. Personnel selection is where organizational success begins. Hiring the right people is crucial, and the process used to recruit and select them can have lasting effects on group dynamics, morale, and performance. To understand how this process plays out, let's look at some of the tools used to evaluate job applicants. The job interview is one of the most commonly used selection tools, but research shows they have mixed value. On the one hand, interviews can reduce the interviewer's reliance on stereotypes. On the other, they're still vulnerable to other biases, like judging based on physical attractiveness or how similar they are to the interviewer. Interviews also tend to lack predictive validity, which means high scores don't do the job better than low scores. Plus, candidates often engage in impression management, distorting the truth to fit what they think the interviewers want to hear. And interviewers' expectations can shape the outcome. To illustrate, let's look at a classic psychological phenomenon called the self-fulfilling prophecy. This happens when interviewers' expectations influence the kind of interview they conduct. For example, when they expect an applicant to do well, they behave more warmly, which leads the applicant to perform better, thus confirming their initial expectation. Unfortunately, this dynamic can skew hiring decisions and perpetuate the interviewer's bias. Beyond the interview room, employers are increasingly turning to another source of information, one that applicants often forget to curate. Cybervetting refers to using online information, like social media posts, to learn about applicants. Many employers report that it helps them find good candidates. However, we don't have enough research and evidence to support that conclusion. And there are ethical concerns about privacy and fairness, especially when applicants don't know they're being judged based on their online presence. So, what can employers do to make better hiring decisions? One option is standardized testing. This includes intelligence tests, job-specific knowledge assessments, personality tests, and integrity tests. But caution is warranted. Some of these tests can be easily manipulated, namely personality and integrity tests. This chart shows that applicants can more easily lie and guess the preferred answer on an overt test that explicitly asks questions about how honest they are. Covert tests, on the other hand, ask about hypothetical situations or attitudes and tend to be more resistant to this kind of distortion and a better predictor of job performance, making them a better option when honesty is an important part of the job. Tests aren't the only alternative to traditional interviews. Another widely used method is the structured interview. This tool asks all applicants the same questions and evaluates them using the same set of criteria, which helps reduce bias and improve reliability. Another tool is the assessment center, where multiple applicants are evaluated in structured settings using simulations, group tasks, and trained observers who rate them using standardized scales. It's important to remember that hiring isn't just about evaluating people. It's also about creating a positive experience for the applicants as a way of managing the organization's reputation and attractiveness. For instance, research shows that candidates prefer interviews and simulations over impersonal tests, and if they feel disrespected or rushed at some point during the hiring process, they might decline an offer, even for a well-paying job. That's because today's workforce wants to feel valued during the hiring process. So when a company gives applicants time to ask questions, explains the role clearly, and provides feedback, they're more likely to feel respected and choose to accept a job offer. At the same time, organizations must balance fairness with efforts to promote diversity. That's where affirmative action comes in. It's one of the most debated topics in employment. It involves giving special consideration to historically disadvantaged groups in hiring and promotion. Supporters argue it helps correct systemic inequities, but critics view it as reverse discrimination. Social psychologists study how such policies affect not just individuals, but entire organizational cultures. For example, some employees may feel empowered by inclusion initiatives, while others may feel alienated or resentful if the policies are misunderstood or poorly implemented. These mixed reactions highlight an important point. Perceptions matter, and they don't just affect job attitudes, they can shape how people see themselves and each other. A woman hired under an affirmative action policy may worry her success will be seen as unearned, or a male coworker may feel overlooked altogether. And the company must manage both perspectives. How the process is communicated, like emphasizing that merit was also considered, can reduce tension and build trust. Research shows that when selection criteria are transparent and rigorous, both majority and minority group members are more likely to view the decision as fair. Ultimately, the way decisions are framed can make all the difference. People want to feel they earned their success. That's why clarity and fairness in selection processes are so important. When people believe decisions are based purely on group membership, it can undermine both self-confidence and trust within groups. For example, in one study, women who were told they were hired purely for diversity reasons rated themselves lower than women who were told they were selected based on merit. But if they were told, "We hired you because you're just as good as your male peers," their confidence remained high. So how the message is framed really matters. It's not just about what organizations do, it's about how they explain why they're doing it. So how can companies promote diversity without sacrificing trust and motivation? Companies can reduce negative effects by setting clear standards, providing performance feedback, and avoiding tokenism. For example, mentoring programs that match new hires with experienced staff can help people feel genuinely supported, not just checked off a list. Emphasizing development, mentorship, and inclusion helps create an environment where everyone can thrive. When done right, diversity can be a strength. Diverse teams bring diverse ideas, but also potential friction. Think about a group project where people had very different backgrounds or working styles. It may have been challenging, but those same differences likely helped you generate better ideas in the long run. So diversity can lead to creativity, but only if group members feel heard, respected, and able to communicate effectively.